Grand Admiral Kuztayal of the Kuala Empire stood frozen before the massive tactical display. His normally vibrant scales faded to a dull grey, the biological sign of absolute terror among his species. Around him, the command center of the Imperial flagship Eternal Dominion had fallen into a stunned silence, broken only by the occasional ping of sensor alerts. "Magnify Sector 7, he finally managed, his voice barely above a whisper. The holographic display zoomed in, confirming what the initial scans had detected. There, emerging from the shadow of Jupiter's moon Callisto, was a vessel of unmistakably human design, yet utterly unlike anything the cooler intelligence reports had predicted possible. "Impossible," breathed Sub-Commander Vriel, her three eyes widening. "Our intel suggested the humans were at least 30 cycles away from achieving such technology." The human vessel defied conventional classification. Unlike the bulky, functional designs the Empire had come to expect from Earth's fledgling space force, this ship displayed an almost artistic elegance. Its hull gleamed with a material that seemed to absorb and redirect scanner beams, creating a partially translucent effect that revealed glimpses of technological systems beneath systems that made no logical sense to core military engineers. "Open a secure channel to the Imperial throne," Kuztayal ordered, his ceremonial battle claws clicking nervously against the command console. The Emperor must be informed immediately. As the communications officer scrambled to establish the quantum-encrypted link, another alert sounded. "Sir," the sensor officer called out, panic evident in his voice. "We're detecting energy signatures consistent with their vessel's propulsion system activating. They're moving toward our position." Kuztayal felt his secondary heart stutter. The nearest human vessel should have been days away from their position near the outer reaches of the Sol system. The Kuala battle fleet had been dispatched in secret specifically to establish a blockade before Earth's primitive detection systems could spot them. "How soon before they reach our position?" The sensor officer's scales paled. "At current acceleration. 3 minutes, sir." 3 minutes? Kuztayal hissed. "That's not possible. The distance is—" "Sir," interrupted the communications officer, "the Emperor is responding." The tactical display flickered, replaced by the imposing visage of Emperor Zix Tayar, his ceremonial crown of conquest gleaming under the lights of the Imperial throne room. "Report, Admiral," the Emperor demanded without preamble. "Is the human system secured as planned?" Kuztayal struggled to maintain his composure. "My Emperor, there have been complications. We've encountered a human vessel of unprecedented design and capability. It appears they have developed technology far beyond our intelligence estimates." The Emperor's expression darkened. "Explain." Before Kuztayal could respond, alarms blared throughout the command center. The tactical display automatically reactivated, showing the human vessel had somehow covered the vast distance in mere seconds. It now hovered less than 1,000 units from the Imperial flagship, dwarfing even the massive Kuala dreadnought with its impossible size. "Humans shouldn't have ships like that," Vriel exclaimed, forgetting protocol in her shock. Their technological development trajectory indicated at least another century before achieving such capabilities. "Open visual channels," Kuztayal ordered, desperate to understand what they were facing. "I want to see this vessel with my own eyes." The view screen activated, and the command center collectively gasped. The human ship's design defied conventional military architecture. Instead of weapon emplacements and defensive arrays, the vessel featured smooth contours and geometric patterns that seemed to shift and pulse with inner light. No external engines were visible, yet the ship maneuvered with precision that made the Empire's most advanced vessels seem clumsy by comparison. "Admiral," the Emperor's voice cut through the stunned silence. "What am I looking at?" I don't know, Your Eminence," Kuztayal admitted. "Our analysts are detecting energy signatures unlike anything in our database. The hull composition it appears to be partially phase-shifted, existing simultaneously in normal space and somewhere else. As they watched, smaller craft began to emerge from the massive human vessel, sleek, predatory shapes that moved with impossible speed and coordination. "We're being hailed," the communications officer announced. Gostal glanced at the Emperor's image, receiving a terse nod of permission. The view screen split, and a human female appeared alongside the image of their vessel. She wore a simple grey uniform, with minimal insignia, a stark contrast to the ornate military decorations favored by cooler officers. "This is Captain Mi Zhang of the Earth exploration vessel Horizon," she stated calmly. "Your fleet has entered restricted space without authorization. You will power down your weapons systems and prepare to be escorted beyond the heliosphere." The audacity struck Gaztaol like a physical blow. The human was addressing the 5th Battle Fleet of the Qualar Empire conquerors of 17 systems as if they were wayward children. "You dare to make demands of the Imperial fleet?" He snarled, falling back on diplomatic aggression to mask his unease. "This battle group could reduce your homeworld to ash." Captain Zhang's expression remained neutral. "Admiral, I'd like to direct your attention to your tactical display." Guztal glanced down in confusion, then felt his blood freeze. Somehow, without triggering a single proximity alert, dozens of the smaller human vessels had surrounded the entire Qualar fleet. Each now pulsed with energy readings that defied analysis. "We've been surrounded," Real whispered, unnecessary confirmation of what they all could see. "Allow me to clarify our position," Zhang continued. "Humanity has no interest in conflict with the Qualar Empire. However, we will not permit hostile forces in our home system. The vessels you now observe represent a small fraction of Earth's defensive capability." On the split screen, Emperor Zix Tayar leaned forward, his calculating gaze fixed on the human captain. "How did you achieve this level of technology?" "Our intelligence indicated humans were a primitive species, barely capable of interplanetary travel." A slight smile crossed Zhang's face. "We've found that being underestimated has its advantages, Your Majesty." The Emperor's expression shifted microscopically enough for Gaztaol to recognize the rarest of imperial emotions, doubt. "You have 1 hour to withdraw beyond the designated boundary," Zhang concluded. "After that, we will consider your presence an act of war." The transmission ended, leaving the command center in silence. "Your orders, Emperor?" Guztal finally asked. Zix Tayar was silent for several long moments, his ancient eyes fixed on the image of the human vessel that still dominated the view screen. "Withdraw the fleet," he finally commanded, "and initiate a full reassessment of human technological capabilities. If they have achieved this level of advancement in secret, we must reconsider our expansion plans for that sector of the galaxy." As the Imperial transmission ended, Guztal gazed at the human ship hovering before them, elegant, powerful, and utterly terrifying in its implications. "All vessels, initiate withdrawal protocols," he ordered, his voice hollow. The mighty Qualar fleet, undefeated in 3 centuries of Imperial expansion, turned and retreated from the Sol system, their sensors still struggling to comprehend the vessel that had single-handedly halted their invasion. In her command chair, aboard the Horizon, Captain Zhang watched the alien fleet depart. "Send word to Earth Command," she instructed her communications officer. Operation Cardboard Tiger was a complete success. The holograms performed exactly as designed. Behind her, the entirely human crew numbering barely 50 aboard the Horizon, Earth's first and only experimental long-range vessel, exchanged relieved glances. Their gamble had paid off. Earth would have time to prepare for the inevitable return of the Qualar Empire. But for now, humanity's elaborate bluff had convinced the galaxy's most feared conquerors of one crucial thing: humans shouldn't be underestimated.